Hello, yellow, yellow.
My man.
Hey, thank you for your patience, man. I waited to the last second to get me like something to drink.
That's how it always works. I'm just getting it fired up for us.
Okay, cool.
Man, what's up, beautiful people from Ville? We got a very special episode today. I know it's been a while, but this is from season in full effect. And this is the good time to be a From fan. And I wanted to collaborate and do something I haven't done live in a while. And so I wanted to reach out and do something with one of my favorite content creators, TMB, the movie blog.
Thank you for having me over here. Yo, I'm down to talk a little bit more from. Like, there's never enough from in my life right now. So the idea that you want to invite me over and do this trivia, I was like, yo, this is way too fun to pass up.
Exactly. I mean, because I love the content. There's room for everybody. It just makes the show better because that's really what it's about. A lot of these channels started just from the love we have and the one thing we share, which is that TV show. And so we focus on that. We're making this as big as it could possibly be, and we're securing a spot for season 4, season 5, season 6. I mean, we're doing a lot for this show and a lot for this From community. I mean, the Fromily has been great.
Absolutely. I know this show has done a lot for me personally. Like, I feel blessed to be a part of this, FROMily. You guys have shown out for me, and I do everything I can to show out for you, especially starting to do these lives. I'm in the same, I don't really do lives like that. I'm starting to do more like as of this week, but like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
a new experience, getting me out my comfort zone. Look what y'all inspire me to do.
Yeah, this is the best way to do it. I think collabs, we help each other. Everybody connect. I mean, because we all here on this space, this YouTube space, and there's a lot of videos on here. And I think when we all collaborate, we all get together, we just make the space that we creating better. And I think we make the shows that we're watching better. And we make the community better. So let's just keep it going.
Absolutely. I see there's a lot of beautiful people in here tonight. Some people that I recognize, some people that look new to me. I don't know if you wanted to take a moment or two to acknowledge all these beautiful people in our audience, or I'm gonna let you drive. Let me sit back. I'm gonna let you drive.
No, it's always appreciated. I mean, we wouldn't be content creators we would be today without all our supporters. People who watch, from 1 second to 1 minute. I appreciate it all. I mean, I always had a passion for doing videos and video editing. So my style is more like video editing, right? And so I really appreciate when somebody watches a minute of it. So thank you guys in the chat. You're right. There's a lot of new people, but there's some people that I see that are familiar that really been since day one. I want to shout out, and I might not pronounce the name right, but Delencia Dames Tucker. I mean, she's been a fan from day one. I mean, she's been a great supporter of the page, and she's been a great From fan and Fromly as well. She's always been supportive, leaving positive messages in the comments. As content creators try to find our space, right, and create different videos and do some videos that we might have to redo, but it's a process and we love the journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing is I've always loved to engage with the fans. I love speaking with y'all. Y'all make this more fun. Like, one of the things that I have, I'm a little snobbish about it, is like, on my channel, I consider it, or my tagline, my motto for my brand is the correct opinion. Like, you actually might even see it on my hat stitched up here.
Yeah.
So like, I want to engage with y'all to see which one of us have the correct opinion. So that's really where I love. This is where I get my joy.
Oh yeah, this is it. I mean, I really just been trying to figure out the best way, because I mean the YouTube space is so big, man. It's huge, right? I mean, there's so many ways you could do it. There's audio books, right? You can create stories, you can do reviews, right? You can do red carpets. Like You know, it's just so much to do, and it's a blessing, you know, just to be in this space, especially if you got love for music. So for those who don't know me, you know, I'm the movie guru. I started about 6 years ago, part time on YouTube. But my channel really picked up about 2 years ago with From content. I've been a day one From fan on Epics. I started watching the show for no other reason than Harold Perneau. You know, I follow his career very closely, and I knew that once the show was coming out, saw the trailers, I knew it was going to be big. So I just started doing reviews and stuff like that. And I'm in the community has grown. The views on the video have grown, and of course, the connections with other content creators like yourself have grown as well, man. So it's all beautiful.
Man, that's beautiful to hear. That sounds like an epic journey, like to just get involved and be inspired by Harold to cover this show. I love that. Like I've been doing this. I haven't really been on YouTube as long. I started doing websites like a long time ago. I've always had a passion for like coding and understanding how things work, and it was also a nice way for me to have a creative outlet with the fruits of my labor. So like I started off with writing, and now I'm expanding into YouTube. And yeah, from like, to me, like when I first heard about it, I was like, Magic Town, what is this, Under the Dome? We're not doing that again. Yeah. But then like I think my friend E-Man, he told me to do this what he was calling the From challenge. And he was like, look, if you could watch I just need 8 minutes of your time. I just need 8 minutes of your time. You watch the first 8 minutes of this show. And if you're a little bit intrigued, if you're a little bit curious, you got to finish the whole season. If you don't like it, walk away. But if you're a little bit curious, you got to go through the whole season. And after I saw them 8 minutes, I was in.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, that first season, and especially that first episode, the acting was top tier, man. I mean, you felt the emotion, right, from Harold. And you know, they don't really talk about Frank that much, right? Poor old Frank. I mean, Frank supported Harold the entire way, right? I mean, he was his direct opposite, and they really brought the vibes on that. I mean, really, really good first episode. I would say one of the best that I've seen in a long time. And from there, you're right. That first episode just really carried the whole season and carried us into season 2 and 3. Now we're coming into season 3.
Ooh, season 3. I'm hyped. I'm so excited for season 3 and seeing everybody's reaction to it. I think it's going to be a fun season.
Hell yeah. So let's do it like this. Let's start with the trailer. You know, for those who haven't seen, let's go back a little bit. So let's start with the trailer. And then we'll get into maybe a little discussion, and then we'll get into the moment everybody's waiting for, the trivia. I think it's going to be nice and fun. I've seen a lot of things like that, and so everybody's an expert in From, you know, so they can play along, and we can really see who's an expert in From with the people in the chat and the people on the show. So let me bring this up. All right.
Oh my God. Like a dream.
It was an ambush.
How many did you save? Just like a dream. You did the only thing you could do. And you lost. Like a dream.
Look, we're still in this thing.
The day you walked away.
But we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Unfortunately.
Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Boyd, we're out of food.
Too many things are changing. I have to remember.
Remember what?
What's missing?
Nothing that I've been through is possible.
I think you're here for what's in the basement.
This place will not break us. We can still win. But the only way we go home is together.
Hello.
Hit the run, go!
game here is rigged. Why can't they leave us alone?
No matter what this place throws at us, we're gonna find our way home. Everybody just talks about how afraid they are of dying. Well, I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen to you here. Hello?
Like a dream. You looking for these? Into my life. You can't save them all. But things are really how they seem.
Man, no matter how many times I watch that, man.
That one stays hitting. That one stays hitting. That was like probably the best trailer they've done, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the time I could tell they put a lot of time into that. I could tell that they actually wanted to give us some answers, right? I mean, that's what we've been looking for season 1 and season 2 to find out what is going on. And then also, you know, who's going to be around, who's going to not be around, you know, like just the little answers that we wanted to see. I feel like they really are trying to give us that in season 3.
I mean, they better. I mean, like at the end of the day, we can't even front. Like 2 seasons, I need at least answer one thing for me, please. One. I take 5, but 1 is good too.
All right, what's the number one question you got so far for season 3?
I mean, everybody wants to know who threw the rope. It's starting to come to the point where even the official account is making it a joke, right? Like they include it in little memes and stuff. So everybody want to know who threw the rope. I'd like them to address it, even if they didn't plan to address it. I'd like them to address it because now it's the thing. It's taking on a life of its own. What about you?
No, I agree. Who threw the rope? I want to see what's up with the boy in white. I mean, we keep getting these flashes of him, right? If we feel like he plays a bigger role, we kind of really don't know. He only shows himself to some people, and now there's been some speculation that from some other pictures that I saw on Facebook that possibility that he's actually following Tabitha, you know. So what is really going on with the boy in white? I always think back to in season 2 where Sarah was talking to Boyd and she said, I don't think that's a boy, you know, and if he's not a boy, then what is he, you know?
He definitely can't be. He don't age, right? He's been that age since Victor was a little kid. I don't get the vibe that he's just a boy either. I think there's definitely more to him, especially him and his little dog too.
Oh man, the dogs.
The dogs, yeah. Oh man, see you peep that. See, I don't even think this trivia question is going to be hard for you, but
yeah, like, you know. I try to find, you know, like I said, there's so many creators and everybody has good theories, but I try to base mine on what we see, right? So if I see something, like if I see the dogs, then I'll probably start looking into it, right? If I see the goat, right, I'll look into the goat, right? And I'll try to find the connections in what we actually see. I won't just be like, you know, some of the other theories for some of the other people I had on my channel, more creative theories, which is great because it builds the anticipation of what it could be, especially at that time, man, especially in season 1, season 2. But now I think it's probably time to dial some of the wild theories down and let them give us the answers, or from what we've seen on the show, sort of go from there. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the dogs, we got to find out, are they the same thing as the boy in white? Are they different? Are they a separate entity? Like, what is going on with them?
So one of my favorite things that I've been trying to do right now is not just make theories, because a lot of people, like I read the theories. I read so much of what y'all are putting out there in Reddit and on Facebook. But my other thing now is to also try to poke holes at theories to kind of try to help disprove the ones that may not be as strong as others.
Yeah.
One of my strongest theories right now, that I've been doing my best, my hardest to try to disprove, and this joint just won't go away, is, are they in a simulation? Right? right? Like I've been trying to make that like I like it's not that I don't like this theory, it's kind of that I don't want this to be the case, but I can't figure out a way to fully poke enough holes in this theory to make it go away because they've sprinkled the show with little ideas that they might just be in some group dream simulation type thing.
Yeah, I've got a theory too. I'll save it to the end, but it kind of goes off of what you just said. I've seen some clues. You're right that it could be, but it also could be something else. So we don't always say we don't know until we know. But that's the fun part coming up with the theories, man. That's the fun part, you know. So so we watched the trailer. So that was the trailer. Really happy they gave us the extended trailer. I believe it's like 2 minutes 25 seconds, and pretty much has everything in there. So let's just break down some of the images, right? I mean, the biggest mystery right now from season 3 is who is Boyd carrying?
Right. So this one has been having people scratching their heads for a while. Now, my first theory about it was based off of not just of who Boyd is carrying, but there's another little quick scene, and you see Kenny walking into the diner like pissed off.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I was like, all right, it's got to be somebody close to Kenny. But Kenny is close to a couple of people. Could it be Christy?
Could it be Christy?
Right?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really seen her in the trailer, right? I mean, that was a big giveaway. We did see her in the season 3, new promotional, picture, right? She's kind of mixed in there, but we haven't seen her. So we don't know. You're right. And here's the question though: would he be mad at Christy that Christy died at this point?
I think so, because Boyd was kind of close with Christy, right? Like he kind of confided her in small ways. Like they spent the night in the RV together. He was helping her out. He was consoling her, and she returned the favor about his Parkinson's disease and trying to treat him and trying to reassure him that he had time. So they do have a close little relationship. Plus, he's got that surrogate father relationship with Kenny, right? Like. They play catch.
They do. And this goes back to the question where, in the trailer we see, the cowboy creature, you said this place wouldn't break you, right? That's what he said. That's what you said, right? And I believe that they're trying to break Boyd by getting to Kenny. Because I think Boyd, like you said, they really had that father-son relationship. And what, they I'm sure the entity and whatever this space is, because they can hear everything. I'm sure they know that Boyd is not as close with his son Ellis as he used to be, right? Or as he was, or as he should be. So I believe they're like, guess what? We're gonna go at who Boyd really cares about, which is Kenny. So we're gonna take Kenny's everything out the game. We're gonna come for his dad, right? We're gonna come for his girl, right? We're gonna come for his mom.
Yo, it feels like we watching the beginning of Kenny's villain story. Like this is his villain origin right here. Like he's losing his dad and he's losing his girl. Well, first off, he lost his girl at the beginning of last season, but now he's losing her.
Girl came to town, right? Mr. Girl came to town, hopped off the bus and scooped her,
right up from under his arm. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I interviewed her and I immediately called her out on it. I was like, yo, why you do my man Kenny like that? Like I like broke character. Like, what are we even talking about right now? Why you do that to my boy Kenny?
Right. Yeah, Kenny definitely needs, he definitely needs some sunshine in his direction. I think he's, had it really tough. But so we don't know. But I just look at the picture and how Boyd's carrying her. Like I know Boyd is strong, right? But I think Christy a little bit bigger, right? He's pretty much bench pressing whoever this is. I mean, bench pressing her with ease through the church, right? So I do think it's somebody smaller. I thought it could be a kid, right? But it's not that many kids in the village. And we only know
people though. Like Sarah is that size. Like if it was Sarah, it might mess with them in a different kind of way, right? Because like Kenny don't have no love for Sarah, but he sees that he's in a weird space with her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like anybody at this point, if they go, I think they could get a different reaction out of Boyd, just because Boyd is on his Captain Save Everybody right now. Like nobody dies. He's on his Peter Parker.
Yeah, well, we got some people in the chat too. They say Daryl says he don't think Boyd is carrying Kenny's mom. I do. I want to say I do think it is Miss Lou. You know, for anybody who I do think so. Just for you know, the way he's carrying her. And then we did see the trailer, and I should have paused it at that moment, but we did see people outside. We did see Tien Chen outside, right? And that look that she gave was pretty death defying, right? Like that was like, this is it. That was I find myself in a place where I'm last seen face, right? Like she was
Yo, you about to make people riot. You about to make people riot. Yo,
she was a done deal.
Yeah. You know, my thing with her though was that I always wondered if she was the person who could have been one of the moles.
Oh yeah.
I had this thing about like she over here feeding everybody.
Exactly.
She making all like she's making pancakes
when
there ain't no pancakes out of air, right?
Yeah.
Like she's a little sus over there. So I always wondered if maybe she was in on it, even to the point where she even sacrificed her husband. Like
exactly.
he got dementia anyway. Whatever.
Yeah, I did a breakdown, you know, of just the whole who died on season 3, and you know, my main theory was Kenny's mom. And then I had a moment where I started realizing that there might be some other stuff going on with Kenny's mom, kind of like you said, because a lot of things happened in the diner, right? Every time Boyd had a panic attack, right? From what we know, what it now is the worms, he was really in the diner. He was kind of close to Miss Lou, right?
Yes. And same thing when Sarah had when she sort of killed the boy on her arm, and then she started seizuring.
She was in the diner, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things and a lot of also information came from the diner, right? When Jade found the symbol, right? Who showed it to her, right? It was Kenny's mom. Yep. Took him right to the back.
She knew exactly what it was.
Exactly
like,
where it was. Dumped out the whole box, pulled out this book, flipped to the correct page. Look at this, right? She saw Victor in the photo. So yeah, she was in front of a lot of things, you know, but you know, we'll have to see. It's up for debate, and we won't know until we know, but we will find out on September 22nd.
It's like a good 8 days away. That's it.
Yeah, it's 8 days away. And I know, man, MGM might crash. That's how many people is looking forward to this day, right? This might as well be a holiday from now on.
Yeah,
take off work.
I love that they moved it to Sundays. Like they on some primetime moves here. I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. And I hope Prime keeps it. Like right now, I think seasons 1 and 2 are on Prime. I hope season 3 ends up there too. And you could low key see how the cast I don't think they can outright say it, but like anytime it breaks numbers on Primes, they start highlighting that on their social media.
Yeah, I agree. So season 3, I do believe that season 3 is going to start with Tabitha. We're going to find out, you know, what happens with her from the hospital, right? I mean, I definitely don't think she's going to hang around the hospital too long, right? I mean, I definitely think that, you know, when a person just pops up, there's police involved. You know, if you go to the hospital and you're injured, the police involved. Gunshot wound, automatic police involved, right? And I don't think she's ready to have that conversation, right? So I think she's going to look out this window, and she's not going to jump, right? But she gonna get up out of there. She gonna get up out of there real quick if she's smart, right? Like just get up out of there, bounce. And then I believe she's gonna. We're gonna find out what town she's in. I mean, we've been trying to identify based on this picture, but first off, I just want to say this is not a real picture, right? I mean, we saw on the From Instagram page they were on a closed set, right? The hospital is its own building inside of a building, right? So she's not necessarily looking out the window, right? At a real town, even though this town exists, and so the town we believe is Camden, Maine, which has been identified by the white tower, clock tower, But when you see the picture of the clock tower, there's no church. I mean, no hospital, in this viewpoint, right? So we know it's a fabricated, picture. Um, but I don't think she's going to actually be in Maine. I believe she's probably going to be in Canada. I mean, they shoot the show in Canada, right? And
Right.
so I believe she's going to be in Canada. I mean, they do that all the time where they're supposed to be in LA, but they're really shooting in Atlanta, right? Or they're supposed to be in New York, but they're in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
like that type of vibe,
So my thing is like, now that she's back, she better finna go find some help, right?
Yeah.
Like she better go find some help, and I hope while she's out, she brings us some answers, right? Like we see this shot of her right here, like she out in the streets, she back outside. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that she goes. In my mind, I'm like really hoping she goes and gives us a real final answer on what happened to Eloise, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like we know that little girl ran out behind her mom, and then Victor talked about how he found Eloise's body I'm not Eloise, his mom's body right outside the faraway tree. And I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, all right, if you're a mom and you out in the woods, you're getting chased by monsters, and you got your kid with you, your maternal instincts might kick in, and you might sacrifice yourself to get your child to safety. So did Eloise go in that tree? Did she get pushed out the window too? Like I'm really hoping that that's the direction they go with this.
Yeah, me too. I think we're gonna definitely find out from her investigations in the real world if that's really where she's at. If she really is back in the real world. We still don't know. I've been trying to look at her scenes and see what time it is she's in, because I believe like she might not be in the same time, right? That they either went into Fromville or the same time period that she's coming out. It could be a different time because we can't see. There's no clocks, right? There's no TV. There was a computer screen, right? And so a lot of people were trying to figure out the time based on that computer screen in the hospital.
Yeah.
But it could have been. So let's say they went in 2018, right? But she could have came out wherever she came out, maybe 2012. It could have been 2006, 2007. And, just that little bit of time, I believe could have made a difference because, so I don't know what time she's in, but I would like to find that out.
That's interesting. I didn't even consider that because like my main thing is like with the whole time theory, I was just looking at the cars, but then I never really considered what if it's like within a reasonably short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, because they pretty much, if they could show her whatever they want to show her, right? And that's the thing, right? Like the little boy pushed her out of the lighthouse for a reason. And if he's really controlling this whole space and time thing, he could show her whatever he wants, like he could send her literally down, the Einstein Rosen Podolsky Bridge, right? They keep talking about, right? To wherever to show her something and then bring her back, so we don't know what's going to happen here. But I do know that there's some funky time stuff going on, but maybe not time as in the actual time, but time as in space. You get what I'm saying? Like that's another thing too, because those two have to exist together. Time and space have to go together. So it could be a lot going on with Tabitha. And that was I did in my video. I tried to explain the clocks, right? I noticed in the background of most of the scenes in the town, there's clocks, but they all have different times. And so what was the significance about that? And some scenes they would point out, especially when Jade first appeared and the woman said, "Oh, that's a nice watch," right? Like they point out these things to us, but they don't explain it. But then looking into it, there's 12 hours, right? In a clock, 12 marks, 12 months. But there's 12 buildings, 12 talismans, 12 characters, right? It's all these things that coincide with numbers from 4 to 7 to 11. So there has to be something going on with the time and space there.
Okay. No, I didn't notice the 12 months in the repetition. I did hear about the 4 and the 7 and that being repeated. Yeah. But this is really still hard to figure out unless it still supports that whole simulation thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I keep thinking about like the Matrix when Neo kept seeing the black cats, right? Like it's like deja vu. Like why are we seeing things repeat? So like, if anything is, damn it, man, you're not helping. I'm trying to poke holes in this.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. And then also too, if you remember when Jim Tabitha were in the house and Jim was drawing on the wall,
Yeah.
and they would and he, she wrote, did we survive the crash? And I believe she left, right? And Jim stayed there and he stayed trying to figure it out. And when she came back, remember she asked him, did he figure it out? And he said the answer is 12. Right? I mean, it just gets deeper, man. It gets deeper. Right,
man.
So we see Tabitha link up with this guy, right? And we see her in front of what looks like a bottle tree. Now it doesn't have the hole in the middle, for teleportation, but it looks like someone made this. And I don't know if he made it. I don't know if his wife made it. And when I say wife, is because if you look at the picture, he does have a ring on.
He does. He absolutely
have
does.
a ring on.
So,
yeah, so it has to be he has to be married to somebody. So who is he married to?
I was sitting here wondering if this was Eloise's husband.
So Victor's sister.
Yeah, like maybe she got out and grew up. Right? Because like Victor's old. So he could almost look like he's about the same age, or maybe if Eloise married someone older, like that could fall in line with that. So my whole thing was, I was wondering, and I'm hoping, is that this ends up being Eloise's husband or somebody related to Eloise.
Well, we see in the next scene, there's a whole bunch of pictures on his wall, right? And I think they specifically released this picture, right? I mean, they could have shot him anywhere, right? They shoot him right by, his little photo wall. There's some other pictures of some other people. I didn't have a zoom shot, but if you look at this one up by the top of the screen, a family photo. It looks like a guy, a woman who we know is Miranda, and then we see Victor, and then we see Eloise.
Yep.
So
is this guy the same guy in the photo, or is this someone else?
That's what we don't know. It could either be him or Christopher, because I mean, an early theory from season 2 was that Christopher was Victor's father, right? Because if you got Miranda there, you got both kids, the dad, would probably be there as well, right? And he never really said it. But we never really got an answer to who Christopher was, other than he was a funny guy,
Yeah.
No Diddy, but he was a funny guy, so we don't know. So right now it could be it could be two people who Miranda was married to, I believe. But then also, you're right, he could be married to Eloise. We don't know.
Right. Because I think if she was like Victor or, anything similar to, I would put pictures of myself and my family up too. We need to find them.
Yeah. I originally didn't think he was old enough to be Victor's father, right? That's why I was thinking there's some sort of time skip here, right? Did they send him back, send Tabitha back in time, right, to meet him, because he looked about the same age as Victor, right? From me, what I thought, but there's some people saying that he might be a little bit older. I don't think he is. This Daryl says Victor's like 52. This guy's like 73. I didn't think this guy was 73. I thought this guy was like 52.
Get out of here. 73. Yo, he looked good for 73. He looked better than some of these candidates. Like, he look high.
He looks like he doesn't look 73, man. No way. So I thought so that's why I was thinking there has to be some other type of time thing going on. But I think that based on, so the reason why I'll say what I say next. The reason why I think that this is Miranda's husband is because they go to the basement, right, and they see these pictures.
Yeah.
And the pictures seem to be already there, right? And so they had to be there from before they went to Fromville, right? It had to be, right? There's no way that, because if it was after, then he would have been in Fromville as well. And this guy had never been in Fromville. So that lets me know that Miranda was having visions before she even went to Fromville.
Miranda paints like this?
It has to be. It has to be. It has to be.
Okay.
Right? It has to be.
When I saw these, like, I was looking at it and I'm like, yo, these almost look childlike. They almost remind me of the crayon drawings. Almost.
well, that's how we know Victor gets it from his mama, huh?
Or
For real. But
I,
that's what I think. That's what I
no,
think.
I'm with
Yeah.
you on that. Like,
Yeah,
I wondered if it was that, or maybe it was Eloise. Like when she came back, like maybe she saw
could
some
be that.
things and she was like, "Yo, nobody's gonna believe me. I'm gonna put this on canvas. I got to get this out because I forget things." Maybe she's like Victor. You know, this is how the pictures remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna knock the Miranda thing. I can't knock the Miranda thing. The only thing is like, why would she see this before she went to Fromtown?
Well, remember what Victor said, right? He said my mother went to go save the children in the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so so she's always, I feel like she's always known it, right? I feel like they've always had some sort of connection to her for some reason.
Okay.
And so, and that was just my thoughts connecting on my second rewatch. I caught that part, and then up to now. So I'm like, she was obsessed with saving the children. And so it had to be some sort of possession, right? Because think about when he talks about Christopher, right? Victor says he was cool until he saw the symbol, and then he went crazy, right? Just like Jade kind of going crazy, like everybody go crazy with these things. So I'm guessing like, they had to go crazy. She went crazy for it. She was trying to find these kids. She probably hopped in the car with Victor and her kids, and then ended up getting to Fromville, leaving her kids. Only saving one, right? What the heck?
Yo, parents from the 90s, yo. Parents from the 90s. They always leave their kids at home.
Leaving their kids, right? But you're right. It could be either two things. It could be Miranda drew this, or it could be Eloise came back and drew these.
I'm with you. I mean, I gotta poke holes in it. I can't poke enough holes to disprove the Miranda, and I can't poke enough holes to disprove the Eloise.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Man, I don't know.
So here was something else I found in the pictures, right? There was, because if you look along that wall, there was a ton of other drawings as well. I see this on the right side, you see this dark black outline, right? Now it's really hard to see, but I put the photo of Smiley. Is that the return of Smiley? Could that be Smiley? We don't know. We won't know until we know.
I would like for him to come back. I've seen him like on social media. He's playing mostly a low key, but he's ended up getting on some podcasts and stuff. I would love for him to come back. If this is his like he's the secret villain of the season. Yo,
exactly.
He was I'm ready for that. He was like the best thing in season 2.
Man, I mean, he started as an extra, right? I mean, and then worked his way up to get represented by the cast, right? I mean, and the main promos for the show has him in it. I mean, that's an amazing story. So yeah, they definitely need to bring him back in some way. I think they can figure it out. He's not really dead, or what they saw wasn't really him, and he's back. They could do so much with his character, but of course we would definitely like him to be back. So the other thing that we seen in the trailer was the phone ringing, right? We saw the phone ring in season 2. Kenny picked up, but we found out it was a dream, and so here we are again. And I will point out, in Tien Chen's house, right, some more weird stuff is happening around her, and the phone is ringing. So who you think's on the phone?
It's got to be that dude from the end of season 1, right? Like, to be sitting here telling him what his wife shouldn't be doing next.
Exactly.
Like that's the first thing that popped in my head. We finna get they finna prank him like Bart used to do the bartender.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. I believe it's the guy from the radio, who apparently has words of wisdom for Jim. Jim, your wife shouldn't be digging that hole. Jim, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your wife is? Jim, your wife shouldn't be in that guy's basement.
Is that person evil?
Yeah, we don't know.
Right? Like, he's giving Jim advice, he's giving him hints, but is he wrong? He's like, yo, your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, bro.
Right.
He was absolutely right. She shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't have let her. At first, I believed that it was another person somewhere in FROMville, right? I did have a strong belief that there was a third group, right? I mean, it just made sense, right? For there's always survivors, right?
Yeah.
Apocalypse movies, there's always a survivor. You know, horror movies, somebody always can survive, one person or group. And so I figured had to be another group somewhere doing something. But from season 2, and so that possibly could be it in season 3. We'll get to that in a minute, but I thought, the radio, he reached out and it was somebody else, but I do now believe that it is the entity, and when I say entity, it could be the creatures, it could be the boy in white, it could be the dog. We don't know. It could all be the same thing, right? It could all be the same thing manifesting itself in different forms or different ways. We know that the electricity doesn't work. We know that the phone really doesn't work either. So it has to be a dream. I think it has to be a dream. And I think that it's going to be whatever's on the other line is Jim's worst nightmare.
I mean, the only other time we've seen the phone ring was when Kenny was dreaming, right?
Yeah.
And he heard the nursery rhyme. And man, if it's that damn nursery rhyme, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah. Please don't go back to the nursery rhyme. Please don't do it.
Nah, we can leave that one alone. But
so
yeah,
here's my thing. So I think that I think it's this kid on the phone.
We only seen this dude once.
Yeah. One time, but I feel like he's had and I've been thinking about this more about who just he was after learning about the dreams and nightmares part, right? So they die in their sleep, and then Sarah was talking about her brother being afraid of cicadas. It was a nightmare, and then stuff about spiders, and fears coming to life, right? And I think that first, I think this boy was the boy of Julie's dreams, right? That's why he said to her, "Don't you recognize me?" Because this is literally the boy from Julie's dreams. Because remember, the town, they know everybody's name, they know everything about everything, just like Boyd, and that military guy, and the two people that came into the town with the same name. I think it was like Sarah Nicole or
Brian and
Kelly. Yeah, Brian Kelly. Yeah, Brian Kelly. And so I think that they know what was in her dreams, and I also think that possibly could be Thomas, right? So they were talking about his the son that passed, and so what else would be a nightmare, right? That we've seen Jim try to deal with, than his son calling him.
That would be one thing because it would line up with what they did with Boyd, right? Because
exactly.
but that entity is going, the one that was the Abby one. But I don't know because the Abby one did happen.
It did.
Yeah.
And that was his nightmare, right? For his sins. And there have been some behind the scenes footage from the Jack Griffin. I think his name John Griffin, actually.
John Griffin, yeah.
Yeah. He said, everyone in the town must face their own, I think he said demon or something like that. And so that always stuck with me. I try to stick with either Jack Bender says or John Griffin says, right? And I've also noticed that every episode that is really, really good as far as moving the plot forward is directed by Jack Bender, right? So if you go at IMDb and look at who directs what episode, any episode with Jack Bender has a main story plot in it. And one of those story plots, he said that they face their own demons. So Boyd having to face his. I'm guessing Elgin is facing his with the whatever he's seeing, right? Whatever that is with the Asian, kimono lady. We see
Zombie Fatima.
Yeah, zombie Fatima. We see all that, but that's what I think. I think it's whatever's on the other side of that phone is Jim's worst nightmare. Also, because Jim's a villain. I just want everybody to know that Jim is a bad guy.
Oh, wait, what? Why is Jim a bad guy?
You know that Jim is a villain, man. He's a villain, man.
I think Kenny's a villain, but why is Jim a villain?
Jim is a villain because he consciously turned off that highway, right? See that always bothered me in that first scene, right? He turned off the highway. Bro, and he knew where he was going. He knew what was happening. He knew they was about to break up, right? And it's this whole thing is, I think, low key him set up, right? I swear to you, as soon as I seen him turn off that highway, I knew it was a problem. I just knew it.
It's like some real life sauce joint. Like he's the mole.
Man, I would could go even as far as to say he's constructed this whole thing.
So what the thing is that Jim had a house fall on him.
He did.
He had a house fall on him,
He
right? Like
did.
even when what's his name? Randall thought he was like, you could be a freaking house fell on me. Like why? Like I don't know. Like I gotta see more to support the Jim theory. I hear you that like but he didn't really know where he was going, right? Like he was driving around the Phoenix area, and I think they was going to like one of these national parks, and he had a lot on his mind. He's constantly thinking, he's constantly internalizing stuff, he's constantly thinking he's got to fix something, right? Because he's an engineer by career. So like I don't know, like I'm not going to completely dismiss it, but I need to see more to like support it, because there's a lot of ways you could poke at that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is, of course, but that's just what I think, man. I think, a lot of what we see has been, Jim's, involvement, right? Like season, I believe 1, the tower, that fiasco, he gave the people a lot of hope and let them down, it just.
And we also see him trying to investigate that exit sign. Like I'm almost more with people thinking Tilly is the one.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he was starting to look behind the exit sign for some answers, she showed up at the right time. Like, whoa, sit your ass back down. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tilly's another one that's really suspect, but we'll have to see. So that's my thought. Is Jim a villain?
Yo,
we'll have to figure it out. But I'm telling you, I think something's up with him. I'll go as far as to say that. So then we got some new shots here. We got this cop lady.
yeah,
We got
she has
something.
a name. I forgot her name.
Yeah, she does have a name. There's something going on at night, right? And I believe this is the same night that we see the animals outside, that we see Tien outside. It has to be. I mean, usually and from it sort of backs up, right? And all hell breaks loose at once. And so I could just see the animals running free, the ambulance pulling up, this cop, out here just trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm sorry, it doesn't look like she's gonna make it, man.
Nah, she's not long for this world. And I think if I remember the scene better, there was like a body laid, right behind the monster's right hand. There's a body on the ground. There's a couple bodies over there. So like
the driver has to be the driver, right?
Like, yeah. So she showed up, I guess, in this ambulance. The driver got, and it kind of seems like she showed up that night, right? Like she showed up at the wrong time. And it supports that theory out there that there's like a quota, right? There's a specific amount of people that's supposed to be in the town at any given time. I think we lost a couple people at the end of season 2 that now need to be replaced.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, so and then I mean we see Randall here. It's kind of hard to see, but this is Randall, right? We see the back of his head, so we see Randall out here.
That's not Chris Evans.
And here, I tried to zoom in a little bit. There's something in his hand, right? I can't see what it is, right? It's something in his hand,
okay.
Right? And then we see him. Well, we don't see him, but we see him on the ground, right? After this, and it looks like either something's on him or I don't know. He's kind of grabbing at his face, grabbing at his body, or hands are up in that defensive position. I don't think he's getting stomped out. I don't think that, but I think he's on fire, man. I think because there was a scene in the trailer where there was some fire. They were outside, and it seemed like people always ask, why don't they try to burn these things, right? And I think Randall, being a tough guy, runs out there with a stick and some alcohol from the bar, goes to throw it, and it literally backfires on him.
A little ghetto Molotov. He don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, right. He don't know how to handle his liquor.
Nah, I can see him. Like I can kind of see him being that dude, because one thing I can say about him, even though I don't like him, is he does try to help. He will risk his life to help. We saw like when the house fell on Jim, he raised his hand like, I'm helping. Let's go. Let's go try to get this man from under this house. So I could definitely see him doing that. Man, I hope he don't go kamikaze and get got by these monsters.
Right, like just sort of throw it on, you dump it on himself, or they all jump on him and then he breaks it. But yeah, I think we've seen the last of Randall this night, and then it was this scene, which has to be a separate scene, right? Because I mean, we didn't see much, but there wasn't any bodies like we saw before, and we see the creature giving this man the keys.
Yo, this blew my mind.
Yeah, right. Like
Blew
that's
my
has to be a trap. Has to be a trap. Like here, take it. Got
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Has to be a trap, man. This is crazy.
Just
And I don't know if
taunting
we've seen this lady before, right? I know there was a 50s diner creature, but I don't know if I've actually seen this one before. So I don't know who this is.
It's tough because there is a good amount of them. Like some of them stand out, like Woody, Toy Story Woody, the cowboy.
Yeah.
He stands out. Smiley stood out.
Yeah.
The 50s girl who bit or the one who bit old boy's tongue off. Like, but some of them always like disappear and then come back way later. Like I'm still waiting for Julie's boyfriend to come back.
Bitey says we've seen her many times. Okay. So she must be one of the captains or co-captains of the creature squad. I mean, because she's repping hard here. She got responsibilities and roles, and she she's facilitating this mass murder.
Well, these monsters, that's one thing I will say. They do operate in like pack-like behavior, right? They'll swarm you, they'll surround you, and one of them is going to be the alpha.
So somebody said in the comments, Daryl said the monsters are keeping Boyd alive this season. The barn scene shows that she might just give him the keys and let him go. Wow, let him go. But yeah, I mean, I can see them not wanting to do anything with Boyd because he's the most fun, right? If this is a game, let's go back to season 1, right? If this is a game, who's the most funnest to play with, right? They want to play with Michael Jordan, right? And that's Boyd, obviously, right? So they want to go a whole season with Boyd, and all his shenanigans that he's trying to pull up, whether it's getting resources, whether it's climbing out of wells, like or sharing blood and needles with Smiley, right? So they like him a lot, so yeah, I can see them wanting to play with him some more. Ooh. So we get the scene, right? Everybody's been talking about this, everybody's been talking about this. I mean, as far as whose legs is this, I could just tell it's Christy's legs. I could just tell. I'm sorry, I could just tell it's Christy's legs.
I think so too, and I think that it could support why we maybe that's her that Boyd is carrying in the church, right? Because that person's body was mangled. So if she's getting caught up in a bear trap,
the foot was out, right?
Yeah, if she's getting caught up in a bear trap, it's not looking good for Christy.
Yeah, definitely not, because she's supposed to be the one that heals everybody, right?
Yeah.
So this lets me know also too that if this is intentional, if this is an intentional trap, then the creatures have really stepped their game up, right? So let's say that they killing the livestock, right? They let the livestock out to get the people outside to kill them. Then they got Christy in the bear trap. They're taking out the doctor. They're taking out the food. They're taking out the diner, right? They're taking everybody. I mean, they've got nothing. It's only a matter. It's like checkmate almost.
Yeah,
chess, not checkers.
And that supports my other thing that I've been thinking about is like everybody has like a role or a job. Like if it's like a video game or if it's like you remember you have to play like Final Fantasy. Like there's always certain people. Like there's a magician. There's a healer, there's a thief. Like Christy was the doctor. And on most TV shows, most video games, you can't have two doctors. Right? Ever since Marielle popped up, now we got another healer. Like, whoa. Like even just by TV rules, this ain't looking good for Christy. We can't have two plus an EMT cane.
Jesus. Yeah. Exactly. So Hector says that's her right foot. Body and car had left foot messed up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Could be. But I mean, yeah. I think regardless, I think this definitely is Christy though. I definitely think it's Christy, and I definitely think that was Miss Lou. Boyd was carrying Mama Lou. And I don't know what's going to happen to Christy, or what part of the season is this, right? I mean, we see shots with snow, no snow, and it looks like it was a heavy snowfall, right? So this could, to me, when I did on one of my videos, I kind of broke down by episodes when I think people will die, and I think Christy's probably going to be the last to go. I mean, there's been some uh, titles released for season 3, and I do believe that she's gonna go like towards the end, right? I feel like they're gonna give us some early deaths that we're not really connected to, maybe one that we really are, and then mid-season there'll be some other stuff going on, and then by the finale, you know, Christy, just when we recovered, Christy's out of there.
Look, some of these characters could go. Some of these little NPCs, some of these they could go.
They
right?
could go,
as long
yeah.
as they leave someone like, don't Walking Dead this, right?
Yeah.
Don't mess with like the core 4, right?
Exactly.
Leave Boyd, Kenny, Donna, and Victor. I need my core 4.
So here we go. So here's Jade in the snow as well, and he's touching some red rocks. Now we
It's a
haven't
really red
seen,
rock.
we have not seen any red rocks like this anywhere. So I mean,
There's red rocks. There's red rocks. There's red rocks. By Colony House, there's red rocks. And we've seen giant boulders. I don't remember what color they were, but when Father Khatri kept going out to that field where he buried that candy bar, there was some big giant boulders. I don't remember what color they were though. But
and that's where I thought he was. I thought he was in the same spot. I'm thinking Jade is in the same spot that Father Khatri was in.
I'm pretty sure also, but at the end of season 2, before that dude got the gun to go shoot at Boyd, he was sitting in front of Colony House with Ellis, and I think he was linked up on a red rock.
Red rock. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and look. Could be. Okay. Well, then that lets us know that they're someplace close. I mean, they got to stay close anyway, right? They can't go too far, right? Without a talisman. Now they might have one, but whatever's going on, Jade looks really into it. And then we see this next scene where he either gave this person his Scully, and he's looking at something, right? And I think the other picture here, I don't think I have it though. He was looking at what some people are calling the cannibal, right? I don't necessarily believe that it's a cannibal. I think this is all, anything with Jade is a vision, right? Like he's seeing the children in the cave. He's seeing Christopher in the symbol. He's seeing the guy, crushed by the boulder. So if he's seeing some sort of cannibal person, that's definitely a vision.
I agree with that. I agree with that because it lines up with the Civil War soldier, right? Like he keeps seeing and that dude, the way the dude was dressed was like, he was old, and he looked like before Civil War old. Like he looked slavery old. like he came through on one of them boats.
Yo, man. Yeah. So it could be the same village. I think that there was a larger group. I mean, we just seen these two guys, Jim and Kenny clutching his pistol like he's on the south side of Chicago, right? Chirac, ready to get it popping out there. I feel like he definitely is quick on the draw now than he was before, right? He was trying
I love that he always got that thing on him. Like he don't leave the house without it. Like,
leave the house with it.
Yo, I love that. Hold on. Dulcinea said he's a Puritan.
Yeah, Puritan. He's a pilgrim, and then she said, I believe he's a Puritan. Yeah.
Okay. We got to take a closer look. This one creeps me out. These scarecrows.
Yeah.
This thing creeps me out. Pinhead.
This has to be what they're looking at, right?
There's one right, it's right there. He's wrapped up in all that, and there it is.
Yeah. This is definitely what they're looking at. But see, I don't think these houses are like active. I don't think people are living in them because I was trying to look at the chimneys, right? It looks like one chimney is knocked down, right? The other one seems to be in better shape. But there, if it was active, there would be smoke coming out those chimneys, especially with the snow on the ground.
So, what do you think these scarecrows are? What are they, like bootleg talismans? Like, what are they?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think that they are to keep something out. The way they're facing. I definitely think they're scarecrows. That's really all. Just
because, like, the town, I'm agreeing with you as far as like the town not looking really active. Like I looked at this, I zoomed in, and you could see like in the middle, of the L and the I, that's an outdoor like chimney thing. That's like something they
Mhm.
used to do to like, I forget what they used to use it for. It's like it's not in the house, but
Yeah.
it's outdoor one. So I do
Mhm.
think that this is older than than the other houses in the rest of From Town.
Yeah.
So if anything, this is another town, or maybe this is what the town used to be in previous rounds.
Mhm. Yeah, we don't know. We won't know until we know. And I try to zoom in a little bit on the chimney stacks, but
Yeah,
yeah.
see that one
Yeah.
chimney is outside.
Hmm. Yep, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And then we've got the recently married uh Fatima, looking at this pile of trash. And so what do you think she's doing here?
I mean, it's obviously not good, right? Like I don't know what that trash is, other than maybe is what the food or the crops were that Donna was growing in the greenhouse, because she was talking about them crops at the end of last season, like, yo, these plants are not doing good.
Hmm.
So maybe it's one of these moments where she's just in shock. She came outside and she's just like, she had to see it for her own eyes, because she's like, how am I going to feed this baby? Like, what am I going to do now?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. Exactly. Now, I mean, it is the food. I think this is the food. I think Donna. I always had a theory that Donna was, the one in the colony house who was misleading people, right? I believe she could be the mole, right? And I think that she sabotaged the food, right? I mean, it would have to be somebody for this much spoilage to go, right? It would have to be somebody close to growing the food to waste this much food, right? There's no way. There's no way.
I think Dale is the mole,
Dale.
because he's close too, and he only shows up just to stir up some mess. Like every time he shows up, something crazy happens.
Well, Dale, Dale and Donna are connected.
Yeah, they married in real life. I think that now I low key think that they're a couple in the show as well.
Exactly, right?
Like
Exactly.
she had no problem punching him out. He had no problem taking it.
Yeah, he
She
likes that.
tied him up like he did that before. Like,
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I believe that well, I got this whole theory with Fatima that she's actually, she's having a baby, something's wrong with the baby. It could be like, Damien, or the devil's child, some sort of evil entity, and I think it's possessing her. And I think that she's gonna start, because we see other pictures of her, right? Like, let me go
mhm.
forward. We see her teeth falling out, right? And we see her, bloody, and I kept thinking of this picture, like, why would she just leave the blood on her mouth like that? Like, she's in the bathroom, just rinse it off.
I mean, it. So with women and women, ladies, please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mean to speak out
She
of
want her
turn
man to
about
see it.
something I don't know nothing about. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm usually under the impression that, like, when you're pregnant, the baby starts sapping the resources, the vitamins, the nutrients out of the mom's body. So,
Mm.
like, when she saw those crops, I think that she's like, yo, I don't have no vitamins. I ain't got no minerals. I ain't got none of the stuff I need. And then they further in that, because getting pregnant. She's getting further along in her pregnancy, and she lost a tooth because the baby sucked all the calcium out of her.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Something's gotta be going on with the baby, for real. Something's gotta be going on with the baby.
I think that baby gonna be born real quick. Like the way people heal, she's gonna
Exactly.
be pregnant and birth in like a month.
It's not gonna be 9 months. Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
I agree. So I mean, I think, yeah, Donna. I think Donna sabotaged the food, and the whole colony house is, about struggling, and I think they're gonna start fighting over food. And I guess she just came out there because she couldn't believe it, in the midst of whatever else is going on. And I guess we're gonna see, like, I think the colony house wars. Like, it's gonna be guys,
Like the
fighting
Hunger
for,
Games, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, in season 2, my man picked up the rifle and went after Boy, didn't he? He went after Boy with the smoking gun.
Well, he lost it. He lost it, right? He lost it because his sister passed away.
Yeah.
So like he was in that temporary insanity type of world right there. I know, like I've lost people, and it messes with you. So I gave him a little bit of a pass for that. But as far as like them throwing it don't take much. All they do is smoke weed and drink. Like all you gotta do is step on somebody's shoe for Randall to be ready to pop off. So if they find out that there's no food, I'm damn sure we're about to have a Royal Rumble in Fromtown.
Yeah, so we'll see. So, but I'm happy to see Fatima Pega Gofori, get more of a storyline this season. She's kind of been back seat in season 2, and even though the marriage part was a big part of season 2, it was a small part. If you understand what I'm saying, but I feel like now she's having more of a from storyline with something we got to figure out, not so just clean cut. And we'll figure out. But she's always had some sort of spiritual connection to From, right? She talked about the Brundles. She talked about it reaching out to people, and some listened, some didn't, and so I think that there's a lot going on with her that we're going to find out in season 3. So we'll have to see.
I'm with you with that. I didn't I actually had a chance to interview Pega recently for her movie One Must Wash Eyes.
Whoa.
And so I interviewed her and I was talking about the movie, and then and I haven't told this story, and I don't
exclusive.
I haven't told this story to anybody, but towards the end of the interview, like a lot of the cast talked about this season already. They're like, yo, this season scares the hell out of them. Like even acting some scenes, they walked off set and they were like, it messed with them for a little bit. So like I started to talk to her about From, and she like shut the conversation. She was like,
wow.
Shook. She was like, no, can we talk about good things for a second? Like, I'm not, like, it felt like she was not out of that space yet. She needed some more distance from whatever to talk about it. So that's one thing real quick. Like, I haven't put that out there. Like, if you watch my interview with her, you'll notice somewhere in the interview, like, there's a quick little cut. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm excited for what happens with her character this season.
Yeah, definitely can't wait to see. So a lot of people were saying that certain people were not in the trailer. I mean, this is obviously Tilly's head, right?
That's Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly's hair, Jim,
Ethan,
Kenny, right there, and I'm guessing this is Christy. I'm guessing she's trying to hold him down.
She got that
little bob, right?
That little bob and mullet combo going.
Yeah, there's backed out. Now I don't know if this is from season 2 or season 3, but I feel like I had it in my season 3 folder, so I believe this is season 3. So Bacta was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we go, the man of the hour, Victor, man, and
he out here digging graves again,
digging something, right, with this little map. So he has his little map, right? I mean, he has literally, the Looney Tunes map with the with the X on it, right? I mean, it is literally like 10 paces north, 5 paces west. X marks the spot, drawn in crayon. He's digging something. So what do you think he's digging up?
It's hard to tell with Victor because he's got that mind of a child, right? He stayed hiding stuff in different places, right? He kept his sister's drawings in the trunk of a car, but he's also like keeping track of the distance of the trees from Colony House, and you can see he's near Colony House. You can see the greenhouse.
See the greenhouse. Yeah.
So it's hard to really tell exactly what maybe he's got another gun. I don't know, right? Like
Victor's got a gun. I think he's digging up a body.
Maybe that's where he buried his mom, because like he said he found his mom's body, but we don't know what he did with it.
We don't know what he did with it. Yeah, the humane thing would have been to give her a barrel, but he would have had some sort of headstone. Definitely would have had some sort of headstone.
I hope so. He was young.
Yeah, I hope so. But I think it's just something else buried, though. I think it's just he tried to forget things and buries them, but I don't know what it could be, but I definitely think it's probably more drawings. And because to bring up his drawings, I just want to say at this point in season 3, I'm not paying attention to any of Victor's drawings. Like, yo, listen, I spent so many hours, right, trying to analyze this man pictures just for them to not come true or be just nothing, right? From maps to like shadowy figures to people with red eyes, like all these things, spiders, like it's just a waste. So I don't really consider any of his drawings any more valid for the actual storyline, or as like a prophecy. Like we all thought it was a prophecy, and it's really not.
I mean, they're clues, but I think that there's some that are there that are intentional and some to just throw us off. Victor's always said his drawings are things to help him remember. And if anything, these are things that have happened in his youth. Some of them happen again. Not everything does. Certain things definitely repeat. Like he said, it's been a long time since we've had 2 cars, but we haven't seen the giant spider. We haven't seen no flood. We haven't seen no boogeyman, but we have seen the monsters get into different houses, and he's drawn that as well. So
that's a constant, though.
I mean, yeah, it is.
They gonna get in that house. They gonna get in that house, man. No matter what, they gonna get in the house. So I mean, yeah. So I just, I would like for the drawings to come to true, but when I do my breakdowns and videos, I'm just like not even paying attention to them anymore. But we'll have to see. What I mean, like I said, we won't know until we know, and we'll have to see what he brings up, and if what he brings up, if it comes true. But we see him talking to Sarah, and now I thought that this was very interesting because I don't think I ever seen them talk before.
I love that. I love that they keep switching up and pairing people, because that makes me feel like they're going to actually start exchanging some information. Like my favorite thing that happened in season 2 was when Tabitha and Jade started working together. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I need this. Like they were sitting there putting the clues together, like Mystery Inc. Like somebody gave them some Scooby snacks. They was like, why is this little girl drawing Civil War soldiers? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So like seeing people that we don't normally see paired together is something I'm excited to see in season 3. I hope he's over here telling her like, yo, do you hear those voices? Did you see the boy in white? I saw him too.
Exactly. Right. Between the two of them, they've got so much that they could talk about. They could probably figure this whole thing out in like 30 minutes, right? If they communicated good.
That's a big if, man. Like, I need them to talk. I need them to continue this trend of the residents talking, exchanging information, and doing everything they can to really try to get out of here. And
it looks like, Victor was staying at the colony house. It looks like he's not with the colony folks no more. It looks like he's down in the town. He's running with, I want to call it the B squad now, or he's running with Jim, he's running with Jay, he's running with Julie, he's running with Sarah and Boyd. It seems like he's switched sides up because I guess, and I asked this a lot of times, does anybody really want to go home? You get what I'm saying, right? And I feel like there was one person who wanted to go home, and she's at home, right? I feel like sometimes Boyd doesn't even want to go home. I definitely feel like Donna doesn't want to go home. I feel like Victor, even though he's been there for a long time, he doesn't want to go home. Sarah doesn't. None of these people want to go home, and so it's sometimes it's a tough conversation for them to have. But I think they're trying to find the answers for what happened to them, right? Not necessarily get out of there, but they're like, what went on? What's going on? What happened? What happened to you? This what happened to me. And they're trying to make sense of themselves instead of trying to make sense of this place.
I agree with that. Like a lot of these people are coming from messed up situations. Like Sarah was talking about how her brother had to come and get her from someplace, and she was going from Pennsylvania to Maine, and she dresses kind of weird. So like people come from some messed up backgrounds on this show. They might not want to go home. They definitely don't want to stay here. But it is messing with their motivation and how much energy they're putting into trying to get out of here. Like the biggest thing that I think people are still mad about is that Donna doesn't want to talk to Jim about the radio.
Yeah, she doesn't. Right. And somehow it got messed up. Remember, she said it got a little banged up during the storm, and it's like, how did they get banged up, right? I mean,
Jay dropped it. Like he was trying to bring it in the rain, and he just dropped that joint on the porch by accident. It slipped out his hands while it was raining.
Oh, how convenient for Jim, right? That he drops the radio, right?
No, Jade
Oh,
dropped
Jade
it.
dropped it.
Jade
Oh,
dropped
okay. Jade dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to
So
say, here we go with Jim again. Don't even bring his name up, man.
yeah, Jade is just Jade just be manic sometimes because you know he
Yeah.
stays smoking, he stay high. So like he was just being manic and he dropped it and it looked weird. The whole thing just messed up everything. But the
Mhm.
fact that Donna doesn't want to talk about it is a little sus.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot with Sarah, right? And I put the comment up here. Someone said, Daryl said, to be fair, Victor doesn't seem to be aware of what is going on with Sarah, right? And that might be true. I don't think he knows that she the number one killer, right? She Michael Myers is this village, right?
I
She's chasing.
mean, ain't no way he don't know. Ain't no way. He's best friends with Ethan, right? He know. He
I don't
know.
know. I don't know if he knows Ethan almost got.
And it's a small town. Like I've lived in small towns. Like when I lived in Buffalo, there was like 3 degrees of separation. If me and you met in Buffalo, we have a mutual friend. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We know stuff about each other too. So like this being a small town, there's only like 50, 60, 70, whatever, however many people.
Yeah.
They gonna gossip. They ain't got no TV, they ain't got no internet, they gonna talk. So I think Victor knows that Sarah is a killer, especially after Kenny broke her little toy.
Because everybody stays away from her because they know she's dangerous, and that's what the comment was saying, that you know, Victor kind of childlike and he might not know, even though we think he would know, he might not know because everybody feel like she could just snap out and kill him, right? Kill up somebody because she killed the most people to this day in the town.
Yeah, this is true, but they have in common that they both seen the boy in white.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So Sarah, I did a little backstory on her on my channel. You guys can check it out. I did a couple of character breakdowns and was trying to find things that connected. And one thing about Sarah, where she's from Pennsylvania, she's from Hope, Pennsylvania. They have a large history of witchcraft, right? And then going into where she was headed to Boston, you already know that has a large history of witchcraft. So she's 2 for 3 in the witchcraft category. So whether that third one comes true, we'll have to see.
Yo, I ain't even going front. I just thought she was Amish. She's walking around with like a burlap sack on her all the time. I just thought she was Amish. She was like, I can't do this no more. My brother came and got me. I'm gonna go to a Red Sox game.
Right. That's hilarious. Yeah, so this looks like inside the colony house, and somebody's getting shot through the window. I mean, I can tell by they holding their side, the way they're flying back, and then but it makes me think about this guy in the background with the gun. Like if you see him, he's kind of pointing the other way, and so I don't know if she got shot. What angle? I think it's coming through the window, but could it be somebody coming in the front and somebody coming in the back at the same time? I don't know.
Who's shooting the house?
I don't know.
Guns?
I mean, we see guns all the time. Somebody, it could have been former residents that, like I said, they're fighting for resources, and they're like, hey, look, we're gonna take over the county.
Okay.
Yeah. And they just went around the back, got the guns, and then started shooting. But I can't. But it has to be a gunshot because I think the next scene, I ain't put it up here, but it's a gunshot wound. Like you can tell it's a gunshot wound, and that's Mari too. People were saying that Mari is missing. That's Mari right there. You can tell
with her highlights.
Yeah, her highlights. And she says she's a medic. I think she's a emergency room medic or a NICU
nurse, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So pediatric nurse.
Yeah, so that's her right there. So we'll figure that out. And then it seems like Donna is there, but I don't know if this is the same day. It can't be. But Donna is bugging. She's lying. She's fake tears. You know what I'm saying? This is all fake. This is all fake, right? I don't know why all of a sudden Boyd is consoling her, right? They don't even like each other. So we don't know what's going on here, but she's actually having like a breakdown. I don't know. And here she is sabotaging the food. So I mean, what is fake tears? She caused all this. Sabotage the food, right? And she's crying. This guy, right? I mean, it's just you can,
why does Donna gotta be I don't think Donna's the mole. I don't think she's evil. I don't think any of that. I believe her story about her and her sister coming at night. I believe Donna. Like
you believe she had a sister?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the way that she vividly told that story, somebody would have disproved her over the time, right? Like it felt like she's had these type of conversations with people, not all the time. It's usually Father Katri and Boyd, but she's had it before. Plus, we've seen people come at night, right? We've seen Boyd and his family came at like dusk. Like if it wasn't for Father Katri, it would have been a wrap.
Yeah.
And more so, like we've seen her progressively break throughout the seasons, right? Season 1, like she immediately, like anytime she mad, she grab her axe, right? She go grab that axe. You need some wood? Bang! She's breaking the wood in the kitchen. This Daryl punched out this, kicked the shit out of this resident. Bang! Sledgehammer to the wall. Get out. Like she's showing signs of somebody who is an alpha woman starting to mentally crack. So to see her crying later is like, that's just a breakthrough. Like she's finally showing some tears. At least that's how I read it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could see that, but I think her backstory can't be confirmed. I think a lot of these people backstory can't be confirmed, right?
Nobody's can, because we all meet them when they're in this town, right?
I was trying to come up with the theory that there needs to be at least 2 people that can confirm your backstory, right? So Fatima, when she arrived, and that guy that hung himself, she was like, I believe his name was Eric. She's like, Eric saw me and somebody else saw me, right? So that's 2 people that confirmed it, right? When Jim and the Mathis family came in, everybody saw them, so 2 people can confirm that. When Boyd and his family came to town, Donna and Father Katri could confirm that. But then when it comes to Donna, Father Katri, Sarah, right? These stories can't be confirmed, and so that's my suspect list.
Okay. I mean, but we could do that for a lot of people. We could talk about that with Kenny, right? We could talk about that with,
exactly. He's on the list too.
Okay.
He on the sus list too. Okay, so this one, I mean, I put this in here. I think that was pretty much everything from the season 3. I put this in here because we still don't know what's going on. I felt like this was a better picture of whatever this. I think she's listed as a banshee, right? And so this was the banshee. I think she's listed as a banshee. So we'll just try to figure out what's going on with the banshee here. The episode list has been released. So season 3, episode 6 is called These Fragile Lives. Season 3, episode 7 is Thresholds. Season 3, episode 8 all the way to episode 10 is Revelations chapter 1, 2, and it is said chapter 2 again, but I think they might have meant to say chapter 3.
3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I love that. A 3-parter. This feels like answers. Revelations. This feels like answers.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be someone coming to a full circle, right? Somebody coming to realization of what this is, and it's usually from someone, right? Like they have a revelation. So could it be that we find out that one person is behind all this, or this is all happening, like you said, kind of in something or in someone's, or because of something that someone did?
I mean, it could be anything. I like that. I hope it is like somebody's revealed, or better yet, we find out what's going on with the symbol. Like anything, honestly, anything. So I'll take anything with Revelations. It just makes me start thinking about religious themes, and that for whatever reason goes back to the symbol in my brain.
Was it 74?
Book 7, chapter 4.
Book 74, right? And this guy, what are the chances that a place like this exists in a place like this?
I mean, here's the thing. Like I need to see the world map. Like I keep going back to my video game references, right? Like I need to see how big this place actually is. Like we know where there's a colony house. We know there's a town. We know that there's a motel pool with no motel. We know that there's the Brundles. We know that Boyd got dragged someplace else where he saw the lighthouse. Like how big is everything in this world?
Yeah, right.
So like, and we also, now that they found another town, right? So like, it feels like that there's so much, like if this was a video game map, a lot of this map is still dark. Like we ain't go nowhere yet.
Right. And then, of course, another big mystery I definitely believe is the weather. What's up with the weather? We see snow. We've seen this torrential downpour, this hurricane come up all of a sudden. So we know it all has to be a part of some sort of plan, or somebody has to be controlling it. I hope that we find out more about Victor's backstory and how he really survived. If he really survived, I think it's impossible. So I don't think he really survived. And I do put him on my list, my suspect list of him not being either a real person or his backstory can't be confirmed, right? So he's one of them. He's not like us, okay?
So I noticed a detail that I missed a couple times, and actually it might have been told to me by E-Man. But there's an important detail about Victor when he's seen here versus when he was left by his mom. Like when he was left in a cave with his mom, my man didn't have that mark on his face.
Yeah.
His arm wasn't bleeding. He ain't have none of that. But when he came out of the cave the next day, now all of a sudden his pants, all this stuff, he's messed up. I don't think we got the whole story of what happened that night.
I agree. And then this guy, we figure out who he is. Like I said, I do believe we're going to find
remember
out.
Me?
Yeah, we're going to remember this guy. And then also, I put this on here. I did this video a while ago about who are the grandparents, right? I mean, the grandparents have been mentioned in season 1, in season 2 by Julie. They're supposed to be out looking for them. Talked about Jim's grandparent. I mean, there's been so much mention of it, and through some of the script writing rules, they have to bring it back. It has to come full circle. We have to find out who the grandparents are. So that's one thing I definitely think. And then this movie, have you seen this?
I have not seen it. I've heard about it.
Okay. Well, M. Night Shyamalan. Well, not actually. I should say it's not. Yeah, it's his daughter that actually put this together. But we know M. Night Shyamalan, and I watched it, and I think, I think it was 1-to-1. I won't get into details, you know what I'm saying, but I think it's 1-to-1 from 100%.
So I need to watch this movie. You think this?
Yeah, watch it and let me know because it's 1-to-1. I mean, it's 1-to-1.
So I skipped it honestly because it was her directorial debut, and I don't always give first time directors that, like, I got to see you build up some work. But I did hear about it. I heard that it kind of reminded people of From, like, you can't go outside at night kind of stuff. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie, and without giving spoilers?
Well, I love movies, so I try not to rate, I just, because I like everything, right? If you bring it to the big screen and you have some sort of mystery lore and it's kind of a little bit hard for me to figure out, or I got to use some brain power to figure out, I love it, so I thought this was great, especially like I said, how it is compares to From, and I already liked From. And so this was like the From movie. I mean, it really was. And so, you definitely should check it out and watch it, and then let me know what you think. But I definitely think that it has a lot to do with the show we're watching.
All right, I'm gonna put this one on the list. I hope it's on streaming already.
Not yet. I don't think so. I don't think yet, but I think it will be soon. Okay. So, man, so that was a great review, man. I think that season 3 is going to be a lot of things that we're looking forward to in 8 days. And so now we might as well get to the moment we've been waiting for.
Oh, man. I have no confidence in my trivia. You know everything. You're like an encyclopedia. This ain't fair. This is not fair. But, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Get into it. Here we go. I wanted to make sure I had everything queued up. All right. So, what's the chat saying? So, it'd be great if everybody play along. I know some people saying they're ready. If everybody's ready, I'll sort of give it a second. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. This could go anywhere. I mean, I put this together, right? So I know you probably got some questions. So we'll do this one first.
Go for it.
We'll switch, and then you can ask me questions or whatever. And so the way we'll do it is, I'll go through the questions. You can either pick the categories, or you can have the people people on the show on the live pick the categories. All right.
Oh, all right. Let the people in the audience pick the category, and then let's see. Oh, wow, you got this whole Jeopardy drink first. Oh man, what did I set myself up for?
So all right, so here we go. So let them pick the first category then. Let's see. What did they pick? So go ahead, you guys. Pick the first category. Let's see what the chat says.
Whoever picks it first, we going with that.
So the first category is season 1. The next category is the creatures. Then we have Boyd, From History. Then we have Talisman, and then we have Who Done It.
Somebody says season 1 first. That's the first one I see.
Okay, season 1. So you pick the dollar amount.
All right, I'm gonna pick something easy. Let's do something easy. Season 1 for 400.
Season 1 for 400. Okay, here we go. What was the name of the finger puppet Julie and Ethan played with that was on its way back from the Lake of Tears?
How is this on the how is this a 400 question? What are we doing? Damn. I know it was the one that met the lonely dragon. It was the yellow one. He had a really regular name, like Herman or Harry. It was something real regular.
Is your final answer?
Herman. That's it.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Okay.
Chat
is saying Norman. Chat is saying it's Norman. Norman came back from the Lake of Tears, and Julie said the monsters, the creatures killed them.
Look, y'all gonna need to help me out. DM me the answers.
All right, so go ahead, pick the next category, guys. Let's see what the chat says. Pick the next category.
Come on, y'all need to help me out, right? Yeah, don't make me embarrass myself. All right, I see Boyd.
I see somebody say Boyd. Okay.
All right, so Boyd for 200. We ain't gonna play like that right now.
Okay. So where was Boyd coming from before being lost in Fromville?
He was coming from. Damn, I know he was on his. They were going to get the boat. Damn, why you pick these type of questions? Where was Boyd coming from before being lost in Fromville? I'm about to run out of time. You mean like what city was he in?
Yeah, like what city was he coming from? Pretty much.
He wasn't in Florida. That was Jade. Kenny was in Austin. Sarah was in Pennsylvania. The Matthews were in Arizona. Wasn't he in like the Midwest? Wasn't he like in not Chicago, not Illinois, the one next to it?
Come on, chat, help him out, chat.
Oh man.
Somebody said nobody don't know.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I think it was the place. What's the place next to Illinois? It's the same place Michael Jackson's from.
Oh, you talking about Gary, Indiana?
Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Indiana. That's my final answer.
No, they were coming. They were coming from VA.
Get out of here!
yeah,
he was right. He don't need no border in Indiana. What was I thinking? Right, he was going to take that to Lake Michigan.
Yeah, he's coming from VA. All right. So let's go to go ahead, chat. Pick out another category, chat.
Y'all not helping. We got to go harder, everybody. Come on now. Let's we in this together. Yeah, that was hard.
It was
Boyd for 200. I don't know what Boyd is 1,000 is. Yo.
Somebody say creatures 200. Okay, I like that. Creatures for 200. Okay. All
right, let's go.
See, now this is better, right? What creature said you picked the bad spot?
Smiley. Thank you.
Smiley, man. Somebody said From History for 200. Okay. So who has been in Fromville the longest?
Now you're speaking my language. Victor. See, now we got $400, people. Let's go.
You got it. All right, what the chat saying? Let's pick another one.
All right. I'm gonna let them chime in with some answers too.
Pick another category, y'all.
They over here dying over the last one. Somebody said,
who done it for
"Who done
200?
it for 200?" All right.
Smiles Davis. Okay. Who killed Sarah's brother?
I'm gonna give them like a little 10-second window. I know the answer.
Okay.
All right,
Seems
this
like
is
the
an easy
chat-
one. Everybody knows this one. This is Sarah.
Sarah did it. Sarah did most of it. Most of everything in the town. Okay, pick another one, y'all. I said it was supposed to be Ethan. What did Sarah? What did you do, Sarah? Exactly.
Yeah.
Talisman. Okay, here we go.
1,000. Oh, they
1,000.
done playing.
Okay. What do the symbols on the talisman mean? Okay, y'all wanted the Y'all wanted the 1,000 question. This should be easy though. This should be easy.
Maybe.
Somebody said military base. I like that. Just think first thing that comes to your mind.
Somebody put duality or balance.
That's a good one. You want me to help with this one?
This one, I think, because I actually get to cheat.
Oh, look. Nice. I like it.
I think it means a ritual. I think it's a symbol of a ritual that's occurring, and it kind of indicates that it's something that happens from day to night. So like on it seems like there's like two little people. It looks like those little F things, kind of those fork things, kind of remind me of trees or something like that. I think it's a ritual. I think that's what the symbols mean. Somebody put it means protection.
We don't know. We don't know what it means. That was a little trick question, and we don't know what it means, man. That's one of the things that we hope we find out in season 3 to be continued. We don't know. Now, what they do. Now, I feel like that's a different question, right? I feel like that's more of what we're getting at. What they do, not what they mean. We don't really know what they mean.
I need to.
So nobody knows yet. We don't know, right? That's what I was saying. The simplest thing. Tell us, Guru, what answer was we looking for? Someone said another category I saw up here. Season 1 for 200. I think we did that. Right? Season 1.
No, I think didn't we do season 1 for 400?
Yeah.
Oh no, we did do this one, didn't we?
Where was the Matthews family going before they got trapped in Fromville? We talked about Boyd, where he was from, but now this says where was the Matthews family going before they got trapped in Fromville?
I know where they were going. I want to give somebody a quick second to answer. Matter of fact, I think they were.
Where was the Matthews family going?
To Yosemite. It was Yosemite or Yellowstone. It was one of the national parks. I keep forgetting. I knew it began with a Y.
What's your final answer?
I'm gonna go with Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is correct.
I bet.
Yellowstone is correct. Yeah, they were on their way. But here's where the plot thickens. You know, a lot of people disappear in those national parks, right? I mean, it just any way you look at it. And whose idea was it to go there? It was Jim. Like, don't even get me started, man.
Here you go again.
Get me started. I'm telling you, Jim had this whole thing planned out. If
Jim wanted his wife back.
He wanted her back to missing. All right, let's go. Let's go down the categories now. So season 1, who was watching the Matthew family as their RV pulled into town?
I know the answer to this one. I'm gonna give them a second. I know the answer to this one. The first person to see the Matthew family when they pulled in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most people got it. Most people got it, and I think that is a big scene right there. I feel like that it was shows that before we seen Sarah, right? She was hearing voices, seeing visions, just in her own little crazy world. And so that's also why I connected with some of the other things that happened even before From, right? It had to be even before we seen these characters, things was going on like that. So she definitely knew they were coming. She had her little murder plan, and she's about to.
Somebody said the crows.
Yeah, really. You would put it like that. Yeah, they did. They did. Okay, here we go. Season 1 for 1,000. What poem say on the board in the diner?
I didn't even know there was a poem on the board in the diner. I'm stumped on this one. I need help. I need a lifeline, y'all.
You want to call somebody?
I need to call somebody. Yo, somebody tell me, what does the poem say? Don't give me no idea, Daryl. Come on, try, people. Hope is a thing with feathers.
So this is the picture that we see.
Okay.
And behind her is a board, and I always looked at that letters and like, what does that say? Something? I thought it was today's menu, right? But looking at it closer, it says it's a poem. It says forever is composed of nows, right? And it's a poem by Emily Dickinson. Now, what that means, I don't know, right? But it's supposed to be something about, being outside of space and time and being in the moment, So I'm guessing that has a lot to do with these people being trapped in the now.
Of course, we see it with my number one suspect, Mrs. Lou. Right, here she go again.
Right,
making miracles with candles.
With the pots on the cups, right? So yeah, a lot of crazy, mysterious things going on in the diner. Cooking food with low flame.
She cooking on a candle.
Cooking on the candle. All right, I think we got creatures for 600. All right, what creature pretended to like the guy in the bathroom?
Oh, to like the guy in the bathroom? You mean the dude with the porn stash?
Yeah. Simp number 1.
I know which one. I don't remember. Do the monsters have names? Like, I know which one it was. It was that one. She had a little blood on her shirt. That little blonde hair, the gray dress, Jasmine. She got a name.
Yeah, there's only one creature with one name, and it is her. It is her.
Okay. Thank you, Delsania. Yo, you deserve a prize.
I thought I had her picture up there, but I guess I didn't have her picture. But yeah, she's the only one that has a name. Yeah, so Jasmine. Yep. All right, so you guys seen this one? I hit it by accident. But what creature wears a 10-gallon hat? I try to.
Woody old said this place couldn't break you. That's easy.
That's what you said, right? That's what you said. The cowboy, the cowboy, that's a good one. Let's see what else we got here. All right, here comes the big question: a creature for 1,000. This is more relevant. What creature killed the cow in season 3 trailer?
Oh man, I know this one. I know this one too. And to me, this one has the most. This one's the funniest one because it's ironic that the cow gets killed by the milkman.
Exactly. Exactly. The cow gets killed by the milkman.
Like, oh, you guys think y'all don't need me?
So that was a good one.
I love that one.
All right, let's get to our favorite guy, Boyd here.
Boyd, oh man. All right, let's do it.
Which one you want? 6, 8, or 1,000?
Nah, let's go rip the band-aid off. Let's go for the 1,000.
Woo! Who threw down Boyd the rope in the well? This is what you wanted? This is what you wanted? This is what you wanted? This
is what we doing? All right. Nah, this is one of those trick questions. Don't play with me. It's either
You're 100% right, man. You're 100% right. This is one of those questions that it can't be answered, right? We don't know, but I believe that there was no rope. I believe that he was never in the hole, right? I believe that it was all in his mind. All right. Martin, we know Martin is not physically in FROMville, right? He's not in a room in a house next to Boyd. You get what I'm saying? Like, this guy is not there, so Boyd was never in the hole, and he never had to climb up the rope.
So I think Delsania pointed it out to me once before. The rope was connected to the well. It wasn't like somebody threw the rope. It was actually like it was connected to the well and like it was dropped. I don't know if that matters at all, but I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get these 1,000 points.
Yeah, so hopefully we find the answer to that too. Similarly enough, on the From IG page, they did post some trivia questions, and that was one of their trivia questions as well.
They love trolling.
They do. Who threw the rope to Boyd? So I'm gonna check back later and see what majority of people put, or if they gave any hints, because we don't know. All right, let's see. Boyd for 800. What was Boyd's profession?
He worked in the Marines. He was a Marine.
Yes, correct. He was in the military. Yes. All right, so let's see. Boyd for 600. What is Boyd's nickname?
Ooh, I remember this one. Let me see if y'all remember real quick. This is biblical right here. Abby was a Marine, so he worked in the Army.
Yeah, he was. I just say the military. He just says he was in the military. He was in the Army. I think this is correct. She put he was in the Army. Yeah, he was in the Army, and so he was setting up towns. Which is funny enough. This town needed to be set up, right? Like, what are the chances, right, that the person that you need just happens to be strolling through your town, whistling, wishing they had a boat, and then they're next thing you know, they're finding resources and setting up towns and killing monsters, right? Like, what are the chances?
Mr. Fish and Loaves came through exactly when he was needed.
Exactly. That's true. Mr. Fish and Loaves. So Abby was a Marine. All right, and I think we did that. Yeah. So I think we did all the boys. Yeah. Who was Boyd's wife?
We done said it.
We just said it, Abby. All right, from history, we'll just start at the top. Or which one do you want?
No, let's do it, because I don't think we touched this at all.
Yeah, we didn't touch this one. So who has been in FROMville the longest?
It's got to be old man Victor, the man child.
What is the name of the lake next to the colony house, if you can call it a lake?
Right, that little splash of water. I wonder if that joint flooded. It should have flooded by now.
Exactly.
The Brundles.
Yeah.
Yo.
What was the first resource Boyd returned with from the forest?
I want to say the first thing he came back with, it wasn't the talisman. I want to say the first thing he came back with was a goat.
Yeah, he was solidifying his spot as the goat. But the goat came back with the goat. And I believe that goat is still alive. Let's see.
Is that the all right? Yeah, let's go.
I think that's the same goat.
Yeah.
Same goat. So here we go. What is the name of the chocolate bar Father Kotri buried in the field?
Nah, ain't no way.
See,
let's tag in the lifeline, y'all. Come on now.
This is everybody for their rewatches. This is how you really know if you did your rewatches. Okay, this Bitey says Astro. That's the lifeline. Somebody else said Out of This World. Someone said Space. Rocket. Daryl said it's called a Capri bar. That's hilarious. I like Space Rocket.
I like
What's your final answer?
I like Galaxy Bar or Space Rocket. I think Astro. It looked like Astro, the cartoon character. I'm gonna go with Cosmo. Damn, we all failed, y'all.
Cosmo chocolate. They're Cosmo chocolate.
Damn.
We still don't know the relevance to this other than Sarah. They told Sarah that what the logo looked like, and she drew it. But we don't know. I mean, a lot of people were speculating between this and a couple other things that this was the alien theory or the crossover leading us to space or a whole bunch of stuff. But I think it's from Lost. I believe there was another type of thing like this in Lost, right? So it could just be an Easter egg.
I thought it was just them trying to prove to Father Katri that they always watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do definitely think too that established that they hear all and see all,
which is creepy.
Really creepy. Which one was that? Okay, so here
That
we go. Big question. That was 800. So from history for 1,000.
Name one of the 6 dates Tabitha saw in the lighthouse tower. She saw like 6 different dates, 6 or 7 different dates. I think one of them was 1506. That's my. Oh, we got a few answers.
We got a few. We do got 1506 in the chat. Bitey's been right for a while. We've got 16. We've got 1978. We've got 1609. 1506. So you said 1506, right?
Yeah.
Nope, that is correct. There was a whole bunch of them. There was 1506, 1864, 1752, 1931, 1883, 1978. It was like 1672, and looks like 1773. Yep. And so, I mean, I really fixated on that 1978. I believe that was as far as I got, and that's why I believe that's the time that Tabitha went back to. I believe she was in the 70s because there was one vehicle in that picture when she was looking out the window, and it looked like that vehicle happened to be from 1978. And then if you see that picture of when the massacre happened in the town, there's that yellow car. I believe there's 2 cars. They're both from 1978. So I just found a lot of connections from 1978, and so I figured that's where she would go to either find Victor's father or Eloise.
Okay. I think I can rock with that. I think this has something to do with the 2-car thing, and I wonder if 1978 lines up with when Victor came here, or maybe around that time. Because Victor's been here.
Yeah, I think that's when he came. Yeah, that's when he came. Yeah, that's when he came. That's when the murder happened. I guess in the same day. Yeah. So I mean, but I was trying to figure. Everybody was trying to figure out what these dates meant, right? And I believe Boyd found the bottle, and I can't remember what the date was in the bottle, but I think it was 1609 or 1864 was one of those dates. Now the 1506, I did the live stream and we talked about 1506 and John Cabot and the Vikings. So that was one of my theories about the Vikings, which connect to the talismans and the runes. So I mean, but there's so much with these. I do believe the dates are red herrings, though, man. It's just too much stuff.
So somebody pointed out to me one time that these years also match up to years that have an eclipse. And I think they alternate between solar and lunar, but these years also line up to when there was an eclipse.
Hey, thanks, Daryl. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it so far, man. I mean, talking about From and doing trivia and stuff like that with From is always fun. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I'm glad people are coming out. Yo, y'all could be anywhere in the world right now. Thank you for joining us and giving us your time on this Saturday night. I really appreciate y'all.
Man, so those are eclipses, huh? So, I mean, we have to see. I mean, we know that something can control the weather, right? We've seen it. We've seen hurricanes. We've seen snow. I mean, we could see the eclipse. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that was for 1,000. So Talisman 200. Okay, this is easy. How many talisman are there?
You told me 12.
Exactly. There are 12 talismans, right? And in the behind the scenes footage, I believe John Griffin said one thing that the people don't know yet is um, what they mean, or what they will mean, or something like that. He said so. Each of them will mean something different. That's what he said, right? And so that's what I'm waiting for. I kind of feel like the talismans, even though they look like they have the same symbol on each one, I feel like they might not. And I feel like that they all will do something. So we have to see.
Like Goku's Dragon Balls, did I get them all together?
Get them all together. They start glowing and get a wish. Let's see, talisman. So who did Boyd give a talisman to and tell to go live in the forest?
So this is almost like a trick question too, because he told two people to go live in the forest. Right? The first time he told somebody to go live in the forest is when he didn't want to put Frank in the box. He was like, here, take this, go live whatever life you can out there. Then he did it again. I think he was saying something like to Randall, like Randall didn't want to give up his gun. And he was like, look, if you don't want to live by our rules, you can go live in the forest. He might have even said it to Sarah, like, there's a few people who got this offer.
Look, one thing we know about Boyd, he wants people to live their best life in the forest, huh?
Yeah, like, good luck.
He's like, hey, you got a problem? The forest right out there. Right. No, that's hilarious. I forgot about him saying that to Randall, and I forgot about him saying that to Sarah. So yeah, you're right. But I had the person I had in mind was this guy, Frank, Mr. Frank. But I feel like he was saying that at this point though, is because even though he was, I think Boyd was a little bit sad over Frank's wife passing, because there's some deep theories that Boyd might have had something going on with this guy's wife. So because when he went to go tell Ellis the news, he was like, you remember, she's the one that Ellis just cut him off. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yo, it's always something important when they get cut off too.
Exactly. So we don't know what was going on, but yeah, I definitely believe that he right. He did give it to Frank. He did give it an offer to Randall. He did give it to Sarah. So yeah, that was good. Okay, let's see. Now here's sort of like a question we said before. Now, what do the talismans do? Right? Not what do they mean. So the other question was, what do they mean?
Okay, so it keeps them from entering a space that is completely closed off. Right? We know that if there's like a broken window, it's a problem. We know that in Colony House, we saw that scene with Ellis and Fatima, and they were able to just close the doors, and the monsters were in the house. And just because they closed that little double door, they closed off the space enough so that they can hang the talisman for protection. So it keeps the monsters out. One thing I want to know is, could it keep a monster in?
Exactly. Yeah, I like this answer by Jay Sleek. He says it's a shield, but yeah, I definitely think protection, it keeps the monsters out. And yeah, I feel like if you did get them in there, like Susie Q said, it would seal a space, right? And then it would prevent monsters from getting out. And I mean, could you imagine? I know in the trailer when they got Boyd in that barn, right? Could you imagine if he just pulled out a talisman, right, and then locked everybody in there, right? That would be crazy.
Game over. He would just win the game, right? Like, yo, we found the cheat code. We done here. Let's go, and just burn the barn. Burn the barn. Oh my gosh,
man! Listen, if that happened in season 3, look, I think we just found the ultimate fan theory, right? Boyd pulls out a talisman in his pocket, seals the creatures up, and burns the barn down. And then Randall burns the barn down, and then he burns himself up, right?
Yo, people hate Randall. I hate him too.
Hate him with a passion. With a passion. Okay, here's this is a 801. This is pretty simple. Where did Boyd find the talismans?
So this one is the easy one, but I was always a little confused as to whether or not, like, it felt like he fell into some cave in the woods when he found it, but also part of me was like, could it have been inside of a tree? Because trees, I don't know, but it was definitely, he was out in the woods, and it was like some cave like thing because all the walls were made out of stone. A temple? It was in a temple? Nah, I mean, it had moss things covering the door. Like, I don't know how that even worked, that he kept the monsters out. A rock hut.
In the forest, in a cave. What's your final answer?
I'm gonna go with in a cave in the forest. Final answer.
Yeah, I mean, whatever this thing is, right?
Oh.
I mean, whatever we want to call that thing. I mean,
rock hut. All right,
rock
I'll take it.
I did like, people said, I mean, it has to be some sort of spiritual thing, right? I mean, we don't know. They didn't elaborate on this, so we really don't know. So there's really no wrong answer. But I mean, I like this as you connect it to a temple. It has to be something connected to something that have some magical power, and it did seem like they were all on the wall, like being, harnessing the energy, worshipped or energized. Me personally, I would like the talismans to glow, right? I feel like if they were really full of magic, and I argued with somebody about this on Facebook, that the talismans don't have any real power, right? Because if they did, they would glow, or something would happen when they're up on the house. Like, you've seen Demon Knight, right? They had to put the blood around the door and it like flashed for a second, right? Like, just give us the impression that it's doing something. But I think that the way that this place is set up in the game, right? Because we've heard them say game multiple times. The way the game is played, once these talismans are up, they can't cross that, right? But if we've seen Ellis have the talisman drawn on his jeans, and that doesn't do anything, right? So there has to be something else with it, that we just don't know.
I think it also ties into this structure itself. Like, they were like in the structure walls. Like, he had to like damn near chisel that joint out.
Exactly.
So who built it? Like, forget who threw the rope. Who built the cave? Who built the stone bushcraft thing dungeon?
But then there's similar vibes from right. Like, we know it was based on Stephen King books. We know it was based on a couple other authors, a couple other shows. And one theory that's out there, right? What if, right, we find out that Boyd manufactured a lot of these things, right? Like, what if Boyd really just went out there and carved some stones, right? What if these things that we think we see, because we have a perspective, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes characters have other perspectives, and then they catch up later, right? They go back and show you what really happened.
So I agree with you that there's definitely this show. They like John Griffin. He's inspired by everybody. He's borrowing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and he's cooking. The one thing I'm just trying to always, the one thing I want to do is also just try to keep it somewhat like you said. It's cool when we have things that we need to think about to really solve, but he's got to dumb it down for some more people, right? Like, this is still a TV show. I think he's going to want to try to swing for a wide audience. He's going to make it hard, but I think that some of these other things might be a little too hard for some people. So that's why I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, we don't know until we know, but it could be a lot of things. But yeah, it was, I would say, the forest. He brought the talismans back from the forest, and whatever type of hut this was, whether it was a temple, rock hut, or Viking, which some people were saying a Viking, like not a longhouse, but some sort of Viking shelter. That's what I believe it, from what I had looked into, that it was some sort of Viking house that it had to be from like 1506 era. It had to be from one of those dates. So I was going by the 1506. That was definitely Vikings, Vinland, and so it had to be that. That's what I was thinking.
There's definitely some naked and afraid stuff going on.
I think we did this one. I think we did that one.
We did this one.
Okay, so we did one on Who Done It, and then all right. So who killed Mr. Lou?
It was the wasn't it Woody? Wasn't it Woody and the and his little girlfriend that he be walking around with sometimes? The one that taunted Fatima outside the police station that night when Ellis. I know it was this monsters, but I think it was Woody.
What was final? What was your final answer?
I'm gonna go with the. It was a girl. Now I'm gonna go with Smiley. Because Smiley was doing Matt's villainous stuff season 1.
Yeah, I think ultimately it was Smiley. I think Smiley killed Mr. Lou, and I think the librarian killed the nurse lady. I think she killed the nurse lady. You know, so they was on a 2-man. They was on a 2-man mission, and they executed flawlessly, right? You know, but Sarah got blamed for it. We all know that. Like pretty much everybody, she left the door.
She left the door open, and I'm still mad. Nobody really thought to look at Toby's body and realize, like, yo, I don't think they touched this.
Exactly right. He was not even that damaged compared to Mr. Lou. I mean, they was pulling his veins out of his ankles. Like, they was getting in him. I was like, yo, they didn't have to do my boy Kenny like that. They have to pull his veins out of his ankles. Like, damn. They was bugging on him. Yeah. So
this is a sad one. He did.
He killed himself. Yeah.
He couldn't take that no more.
Mm-hmm. Eric gave up. Probably the smartest one. I believe his name was Eric.
Another sad one.
Yeah. Who killed Abby?
I think everybody know this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, this is also too. Susie Q said Jasmine. Yeah. There's two. Now think about it. 2 guys in the bathrooms. The bathroom at the post office / police station, and then the bathroom of the county house. Yeah. And here we go. Everybody say Boyd. Yeah, Boyd.
Yeah.
Boyd. All right. Here we go. Final question on From Jeopardy. Who done it for 1,000? Who was responsible for the death of Thomas?
Who's responsible, or who do we blame it? Right? Because we know that these two were getting divorced because of what happened. I think they said it was Tabitha when she was doing something with Thomas and he fell. Final answer.
Okay, so I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was Jim. I thought Jim putting his name back out there. Jim was watching the kid. The phone rung, and he turned his back for 1 second.
Yeah, I blame them both. They it's both their fault.
No, in a situation like that, yeah, it definitely would be both their faults. But I mean, that's why they both. Now it could be trying to come up with a theory, man. That's why they both in Fromville. Maybe the whole family responsible. That's why they all in Fromville.
Right? Like this is a place of guilty people who got away with stuff they shouldn't.
Exactly. But I blame Jim. I blame Jim. I mean, and going back to what I was saying about some things happening before From, right? So we know that Sarah heard voices before we even seen her in From, right? There's a possibility that Miranda saw visions of people in From even before she even got there.
We know, right? Tabitha did too.
Tabitha did too?
Tabitha, she talked about it. She talked about when Julie asked her, she was talking about, hey, I saw children. And she was like, I used to see things before, but this was different.
And that's right. And then so let's look at it like this. And then what if Jim was hearing voices and seeing things before he got to Fromville? And then remember, Abby said, I seen this place in a dream or something like that, right? When she was a child, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember a lot of what she said. Because honestly, she was only on screen for a few seconds at a time. I'm not even going to front. It was hard for me to remember everything she said. Only person I remember acting like that was Elgin's goofy self.
Susie Q just said it here too. She said Abby said she dreamed of this place as a kid. So yeah, I think that things are coming up, that there was a lot of stuff before FROMville, and so the death of Thomas, right, might have been on purpose by, unintentionally by Jim. Wow. So yeah, so that was it. So great game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now those were my questions. I know you got some questions
I ain't
too.
got nothing good. I ain't got nothing. Like, you just see what you just put us through. I'm sitting here. My questions was like, what is the name of the bartender? Like, what is we doing tonight? I got one. I got one question. I'm gonna just put it out there, and that's it. What is Jade's last name?
What is Jay's last name? Hey, I want to say something with a K. For some reason, something with a K comes up. I want to say something with a K. Help me out, chat. I want to say if it's something like, oh no, maybe no. You know what? That's Victor. I'm thinking of Victor's last name. I just found out Victor's last name. His Jade. Let's see, Emerald, Jade, Emerald. No. Let me see what's going on, chat. Someone said Herrera, Jade Herrera, or something like that. Somebody said unknown. So yeah, I'll go with where's Bitey at? Bitey's been right all night.
Bitey said unknown.
Oh, Bitey said unknown. Oh, Daryl's another one's been right. I'll go with Herrera.
That's it. Yeah. Man, Jade's last name is Herrera from Florida.
Yeah, man, that was a good one. No, that was a real good one. Yeah, some of my slowly learn, and because I just learned Victor's last name. You know what I'm saying? Because for a long time, some of them aren't listed. Like whoever the guy is, right? That Tabitha's meeting, he's not listed, but I seen in like a news article. He's Henry. Yeah, he's Henry, right? It's things like that. There was somebody else's name that I think I saw too that has to do something with. Well, Jay being from Florida, one thing that I always felt was interesting. If you look at that map that was in Boyd's office, it says Sigrid car, right? And I know that was one of my early theories about trying to figure out how that connected to whatever was going on, like Sigrid and the company that invented the car, and could that have been some of the early tech for the simulation theory? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on with Jade and everything around him.
Yo, I hate this simulation theory. Yo, we need to find out a way to disprove this. Like, if this turns out to, like, if this ends up like Wayward Pines, I don't know if I'm gonna take it okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be okay.
Exactly, man. And so, all right, well, everybody enjoyed the trivia. I'm happy everybody could join us tonight. Like you said, people could be anywhere in the world tonight, especially on a Saturday. But you already know the FROMily and the FROMville community is here. And this is what we do. We talk about we theorize, and we come together. So we appreciate y'all for coming together. That's right. Victor's last name is Kavanaugh. I can't. Kavanaugh. Yeah. So we're all looking forward to the premiere of From. We're 8 days away. You got anything planned for the premiere? Live streams, videos coming out? What you got going on in the next week?
I always do videos, but I'm going to start doing live streams. Like, my audience has been asking me to do live streams. It's just hard for me to just narrow down a time to consistently do it. I think since the show is now moving to Sundays, I'm going to aim to do it on Mondays. And try to do it at a time that works for everyone. I want to do it at 8 o'clock at night, but then some people be in different time zones, and that don't always work for everybody. So I'm gonna try to probably do it like early, like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So y'all get a day, y'all. Catch up.
Thank you, Chocolate Beauty, for the super chat. We are a super sticker. We really appreciate it. It was great hanging out with you. Yeah, man. I got into some of the lives, early. I did some, and I think, really set the tone for the live. The live I did, it ended up being really, really big with Tyron. And then ever since then, but like I said, I really like doing videos more. Like I said, I really like theorizing, doing the editing. So I got a video coming out later tonight, guys, on my YouTube. I'm doing one. I'm sort of breaking down what is possibly going on with Fatima. I think I got a great theory on that. And I'm gonna try to release one next week, which will probably be my final video before the season premieres. And that'll probably just be top 10 mysteries for season 3. And then, yeah, of course, I think YouTube will be alive with lives on the 22nd, right? I think it's going to be really big that day. So, yeah, I mean, we got to definitely all do something else or jump. Even if we just do like a roundtable, jump to people's lives, all day, right? Because I think it's going to be a lot. That would be cool. Everybody just go around and get in people's lives and just talk from.
Listen, if you're doing it on Sundays, let me know. I mean, I might hop in, or if that's what you want to do. And I did want to just plug one thing. For you guys who did watch my videos last season, y'all know I had like this little thing, those little surprises at the end of my video. Be ready for that this season too. So I got y'all covered.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, yeah, man. So final theory, final prediction for season 3.
I think Tabitha is going to find. I hope Tabitha finds Eloise. That's what I really hope. I really hope Tabitha finds Eloise. She goes out this town and she finds somebody who got some answers. That's like, yo, my brother Victor. I hope that they better give us some answers, right? Don't give us another season of just questions and new cast members. If they do that, I think I'm gonna have a big problem with From. Like, honestly, I don't think I could do 3 seasons of just questions and no answers and feel okay about that.
Exactly. Let's see. My final theory this season is I think we're gonna find out who the boy in white is. I do. I got faith in that. I feel like we're gonna see how it connects. I feel like we're gonna find out who the guy is, and we're gonna find out how it connects to not only Victor, but I believe that there's some connection with Victor and Tabitha, right? We have not seen Eloise as an adult, right? We've seen her as a child. Everybody believes she's alive. I think she's alive too. And I know there's a little controversy about possibly Eloise being Tabitha, but we've seen crazier stuff, right? We've seen crazy stuff like Terminator. If you've seen Terminator, right? The girl ends up being I won't spoil, but you know how Terminator turned out. So it's crazy stuff going on here. But let's see. But I do think we'll find out a lot about Boyd, and I do think they'll set us up with some good information for season 4, which we will get. So, but we'll have to wait and see. We don't know until we know, and we're going to find out 8 days. So, man, thanks for doing the live stream with me. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for this 2+ hours. And as always, let's discuss, make sure you guys subscribe to the movie blog. Make sure you guys subscribe to my page. Catch up for our notifications. We got a lot of stuff coming this week, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.